My first time back with you since one of the worst things happened in my life. Exactly 1 month ago, my partner of 10 years, my beloved husband, made his transition to the invisible side of life. And it has been hard. It has been a very difficult time for me. And as most of you know, who know me well, and as you continue to follow me, you'll recognize that I find the good in everything. I find the blessing in the thing that seems to be messing everything up. Because I recognize that everything that shows up in our lives is either a blessing that we can see obviously right in that moment, something that we can give thanks for and praise for right then and there. But then there are those other things that are painful, things that we don't want, things that pull up negative emotions. And those too have their blessings. Even though they might not be in the moment, they definitely have their lessons that turn out to be blessings later. Sometimes those things are painful endings for things that we began and we hoped would last forever. But those things that we have to learn to let go of are oftentimes some of the best lessons that can catapult us to the next level of what we're supposed to be doing in this life. And I give thanks to my husband for all that he's taught me. I'm so grateful that I was there and that I made the agreement with him so long ago to be there for him as he made his transition. I did not want to let him go. It hurt. Fear set in. But I did have to let him go. It's still a challenge for me right now, as you can see. But I just wanted to reach out to let you know that I'm still here and that I'm filled with even more to share to hopefully inspire all of you who listen to me and watch me, and all of my clients and all the people around the world who have been a part of my expression for over a decade now, whether it be through the Illuminations Media Network podcast, the Solutions Media podcast, whether it be the Beyond Hypnosis brick and mortar business that I have, or now with this COVID-19, the virtual Beyond Hypnosis, which has been a blessing because it's allowed me to expand beyond just four walls, to actually work with and support people from all over the world with my Beyond Hypnosis tools. And so there's a blessing there for this COVID-19. But today, my main focus is to talk about the blessing in those painful and negative emotions. And this is a prevailing and continuous theme in my work, in my vocation of what I have chosen to bring to the planet. My Pollyanna-ish positivity, Little Miss Sunshine that some people really get annoyed about. My ability to find the beauty and the good in every last thing. I like to go to the deep, dark emotions. Now, as I've been moving through grieving, anger is one of those emotions that goes with grief, with loss. And I wanted to talk about anger and what that's all about. That just like all negative emotions, that anger, when we are pissed off and we're mad because something didn't go our way, it's an indication that that thing, whatever it is that anger is around, is very important to us. And so we need to take a look at what that thing is and what that anger is pointing to. You see, anger, along with all negative emotions, is a navigational signpost, if you will, to let you know that something is very important to you. Something means a great deal to you, and that someone, some situation, some institution, something is standing in the way of you enjoying whatever it is this thing of value is to you, of you enjoying it and expressing it and having it in your life. So that's the beauty about anger. That's the beauty of jealousy, of fear. Actually, all negative emotions have their roots in fear. We're fearing that we're not going to have something that we think we need to make our lives better, to make us feel safe, to make us feel important, to make us feel successful, to make us feel something that we truly need. And what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel good and to feel safe, to be happy. That's why we're here, is to create that on this beautiful planet. And so using those negative emotions, knowing that they are just electrical impulses that are moving through our body temporarily to indicate to us that something needs our attention. And that's really all that it is, unless you make it more than that. Unless we decide to hang out in those negative emotions for any long period of time, then it becomes a distraction. Then that negative emotion becomes an obstruction, a self-imposed obstruction. Now, somebody in the outer world, some memory, some institution, some whatever that you feel is blocking you from experiencing what you really want. Hey, that person has every right to want what they want too. We're all creating in this 3D plane, and we all have free will to do so. So, when we feel that somebody is interfering with our process of creation, we tend to get mad, right? And then what do we tend to do? We tend to want to lash out to whoever or whatever that is that's standing in the way of what we want. Now, is that really helpful? We can think about war and how we've had a war on some country or other, some group of people or other. We've had a war on drugs, we've had a war on crime, we've had a war, fighting against things. Well, what are you doing when you're fighting against something? You're paying attention to it, aren't you? You're giving it your vital life force with this angry, resistant feeling and attitude and any behaviors that might come out of that. So when you think about that you're giving your attention to what you don't want, is that really productive? Wouldn't it be more productive and a better use of your divine abilities to focus on what you do want, with the recognition that, hey, those people over there, They have the right to create what they want. They might think that they need to block me, limit me, control me. They might believe that I'm in the way of what they want. However, that's on them. That is their belief. What's super important for me is to recognize that I have the power of focus. I have been gifted as a divine child of God the ability to create. And what do I create with? We create first with our thought, our feelings, our emotions. Yes. And so, why waste that power focusing on what you don't want, hating somebody over there who's also trying to get what they want? Why not utilize that energy to continue to turn your attention to the thing that you do want? To turn all of your focus on manifesting and becoming an vibrational match to whatever that is that you truly want. Isn't that a misuse of power if you really think about it? And any misuse of power in this 3D realm is going to backfire. It's going to create a problem. We know that hanging out in negative emotions negatively impacts our health. I mean, scientific data is just stacking up. If we're looking at every disease that shows up in the body, it's always linked to, if not just correlated to, negative emotions, prolonged stress. Thinking about this, seeing your power differently, knowing that when someone can manipulate you into hanging out in anger, into going to war, battling against, fighting against, wanting to elicit revenge against, they're setting you up for a trap because they know that they've got your attention. Do you see? And if people know that you can be controlled through your emotions, they'll continue to use that against you. Why not? It works. So I think about that adage. I think it's Matthew 5:39, where Yeshua, the Christ, the one that understood all of this so perfectly, the one that told us that we shouldn't marvel at what he does because we will be doing even greater things. We learned that he said if somebody, just to paraphrase it, I like to paraphrase it in a metaphysical sense, that if someone strikes you on the cheek, you turn the other cheek and give them the other one as well. Now for me, metaphysically, that's not speaking of literally being a doormat and allowing people to do whatever they want to you. No. For me, that means that on a spiritual level, you are not manipulated or even moved by their attempts at thwarting you, at disrespecting you or attacking you. You are not moved by it. You see, because you know better. Because you know the proper use. So that one cheek, guess what? You got another one over here. And while you're not going to let them punch you in the face on the other side, that ain't what that's about. That's about you turning from the negative to the positive and focusing your attention on what you truly want. Can you feel that? Can you sense and feel the greater truth about that? The recognition that you are so powerful that whatever it is that you are focusing your attention on, it's expanding, it's growing, and it's on its way to manifest in your life. So why sit around complaining and whining about what somebody did to you on this side? You got another side. And that is the one that you want to turn your attention to. You want to turn your attention to doing your work. And that is to create in this beautiful world. My husband is now creating on the other side of life. But I'm still here creating on this side. And part of my creation is to share these insights that are downloaded. They come from nowhere in the middle of the night. And sometimes I pick up my phone and I will speak into my phone and record these wonderful downloads so that I can share with you later. It's amazing. It makes so much sense. So, will you be tricked again? Will you ever be tricked by somebody getting you upset, getting you angry, pushing your buttons? Or will you be able to stand firm and turn the other cheek to focus on what you want, staying there, knowing that you only get more of what you give your attention to. And whatever it is you turn your attention away from, it starts to die in your world. It starts to remove itself because you are no longer a vibrational match for it. My husband had other work to do. In this frequency, he had done everything that he was supposed to do with me and with everybody else in the world. I watched him slowly pull his attention away from this world because he was ready. He was ready to be more. Peace and blessings, baby. So wake up, folks. Find the good and pay attention. When you feel yourself feeling bad, feeling down, feeling angry, feeling scared, take a look at that feeling and notice what it is that's really important to you. With this COVID-19, folks got scared because they realized that their health was very important to them. This lockdown has revealed that our time with loved ones, our time with ourselves, identifying what's truly important, having time to really think outside of the rush, the rat race of going to a job and trading our time for money, maybe working for things that we don't even believe in. This has been a blessing. I want to hear about what blessings you found during this time of so-called crisis, of so-called attack. What blessings have you found in this thing that appeared to be messing everything up? What has fear taught you about yourself? And what is fear motivating you to create in your life and in the world around you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So peace and blessings. Everyone, stay well, eat well, exercise, get that vitamin D on your skin every day. Tell the people that you love them. And look in the mirror and tell yourself that you love you. I love you. Peace and blessings.